Hello guys, and welcome back, and it's time for the Masters Plus brackets. So, it's a little different into this one. It is double elimination in Masters Plus compared to the single elimination that we saw a while ago in Gold to Diamond. So, it just means that there is a second chance for any of these players that lose into the upper brackets. And later, of course, on into our coverage, we'll be doing some of the lower bracket games as well. But for now, we'll be getting into two of our upper bracket round 1 matches. And as you saw, this one's gonna be a ZBZ yet again. It's SiFu versus GeoHen in a very infested day today. It really feels like today has been a day that it's really all about the Zerg, and I love it. We're seeing it in Gold Diamond. We're seeing it into, well, Masters Plus. And you know what else am I seeing? Our amazing sponsors, Pure PC and Block 1 and that one. This is for you guys. Without all of you, this tournament would not be a reality, and really just goes to show the support here for the Quarantine series has been overwhelming, has been a flagship kind of setup in terms of the StarCraft 2 scene. So it really means a lot to see these kinds of sponsors really help out in giving so many different things here and there. In Masters Plus, though, it's all about the money. I believe it's around 2,200 for winning the whole thing, so it's around 40 plus bucks. So it does go to show that there is a lot more on the line here for Masters Plus. There's still a lot more games to go on, and this is only round number 1 because we are gonna have this month-long tournament format, which is gonna be pretty interesting to say the least. You also know what is interesting? We're gonna be getting our first map already. It's Everdream LE to start things off, and in a more refined ZBZ, I can't wait to see what kind of clashes we see in the middle of this map. It's going to be all about getting to point A to point B as quick as can be, looking to destroy their opponent as quick as can be, and maybe, just maybe, go for the creep spreads to where they can control and where they can dominate. But this is SiFu versus GeoHen. SiFu, a man who has been experienced even in different regions, versus GeoHen, who has been in and around, making some rivalries in the local scene. We'll find out how this is going to unfold as we get into our next game. Here we go, game number 1. On to Everdream we are. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go into the Masters Plus brackets. We are now looking to see the top of the top of the SCPH scene, as we usually see an extractor trick here. But introducing first, on the top right of Everdream LE, it is gonna be our Green Zerg. I believe he plays for NA, or at the very least, he has been playing here, there, and everywhere. And he is very experienced in so many different regions. This man knows the bans on Trash Talk, on the setup, but he can make it up for his gameplay. And especially with his fellow local community. Always a great sight to see, working together to getting even better. It is the sensei himself, SiFu. And his opponents. Here on the bottom left, well, have you ever seen some StarCraft 2 memes? Have you ever seen some SCPH memes? This guy has made them all and has been one of the young guns who has been really improving, to say the least. The years I've been in the StarCraft 2 scene, I've seen this guy get better and better to where he is today, looking to compete in the Masters Plus brackets. It is, of course, our lad of the nation. It is Mr. GeoHen, or Azin. So here we are, Azin versus SiFu, or let's just say SiFu versus GeoHen. I'll probably interchange the two names here, there, and everywhere as per usual. But we are going to be getting into this one. And, you know, all I can say about it, thank you for the Twitch Prime right there, Tamara is, aka you know who. But, you know, let's not try to get some conclusions here. So for SiFu, he does go for that pool first. Hatchery gonna be there as well. As in the meantime, Hatchery first into the pool. And this is really just basically a heat check here for Mr. SiFu. When you see a pool first against a Hatchery first, in terms of the macro, you can get the earlier queen. You're gonna get the Hatchery anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. But this is you basically saying, especially the best of 3, that hello, are you ready for this game? Can you actually survive what I'm gonna bring to you? And we'll see what SiFu can get out of this information. Because not only do you get scouting information from your own links, but you get information of how your opponent plays. And for now, there we go. See, some really good fix-offs here for SiFu. The heat check is not working out whatsoever for Azin, because SiFu is just bringing his own pain, bringing his own heat, and not only deserving to die, but also drones as well. This is a good opportunity for SiFu to just take a big lead here and work from it. And every little bit matters in the Masters Plus bracket. Every little drone that falls really is just absolutely decisive. And SiFu has the Suicide Squad of Zerglings just winning out every single fight that they need. And apparently 2 of them only going down, 4 of them able to get back home. That's a good start here for SiFu. And from the pool first, he gets a good start. He gets a good launch point, and he is up on the work count so far with 2 hatcheries online. So there you go. So SiFu, initial thoughts from SiFu. Gotta say, he played that one really well, timing it right, catching out Azin off guard when he was setting things up on the ramp. And Azin, of course, will respond with a Baneling Nest because he knows that those early links means that had to be a pool first. So metabolic boost should be a little earlier there for SiFu, in all honesty. But since he didn't go for the gas, he went for the minerals more. It is Azin gonna get it, but it just means that both sides will have metabolic boost pretty much at the same time. Hatchery node number 3 here for SiFu, feeling very secure after that initial bout. And he should be good to go to play the macro that he needs. Speed boost is there though, getting all the scouting as in seeing what is going on. Still, that one Zergling gonna get poked at the last moment. But Azin now knows that there's nothing much being done on the second base. This is more like 3 bases. He's gonna go for his own third base. I love the decisions here for both sides. It really goes to show that they know how to play this game. They know how to play this matchup. And Banelings right now gonna get morphed on in by SiFu. We are seeing a ZVZ on the basic level. We're seeing the Ling versus Ling army. And so far, so good here for SiFu, but Azin doesn't get the first in time still, though. Here we go again. SiFu right now trying to survive. And he's able to run on away here, there, and everywhere. A few of those Banelings getting popped. But that one Baneling there from SiFu, mitigating whatever advancing scouts the Yellow Zerg wanted to do. And for now, this is SiFu by the ramp yet again. Azin, in the meantime, on the high ground. SiFu, though, bringing more and more of these Banes. But Azin might be able to get value here. 2 for the price of 1, perhaps. Might be a bargain bin sale. Oh, the Baneling still gonna get hurt, and ow, that's gotta hurt. SiFu right now going for a little bit of push, as in the meantime trying to defend. And here we go right now with some of these Banelings looking to pop onto the outside, and the chase is on. One Baneling slamming into 2, it's still alive, and there we go with a little bit of the poke to get 2 rid immediately. And Azin, he's able to hold on, he's able to survive. SiFu tried to go for the pokes and the prods there, doesn't work out, and this time Azin playing the defense a lot better than that first initial engagement. Now, this gives confidence here for Azin to maybe, just maybe, move on to the outside. But overall, it's still a net positive here for SiFu. He's up on the work account. He's ready and set on 3 base. And he's slowly but surely connecting his creep to make sure all of his bases are secure. Even making a spine crawler here, he can cancel it, but he can actually keep it online because it'll be very helpful on this third base, to say the least. In any case, though, it's all about the floods yet again. But something that has been of a difference maker for both sides is that production tab. As the Banelings right now trying to find one another. SiFu sacrificing a few here and there, and the Banelings just kissing and exploding. But still, it really feels that for Azin, he's committing on these Lings. And in the meantime, SiFu is transitioning to the 3 base Spire play, which I like here a lot from SiFu because he can just surprise his opponent very quickly. Still, though, alert set going online here for Azin. It isn't as early as you would like, though, because his Spire is almost done. And a Mutacycle might be very surprising, to say the least, here for our Yellow Zerg. But can GeoHen actually hold on to the third base? Service says no, because this is just SiFu really keeping him 1 base behind. And now Azin is desperate to try and answer back. So he's going to be looking to invest his minerals into an army. He's going to be looking to invest his minerals on maybe some defenses here and there. And this will give SiFu an opportunity to just outplay his opponents, look for a little bit more. And Azin right now going into natural, goes over to the main base instead. And look at this, very different from our gold to diamond. You see that this spawning pool is part of the wall, keeping the queen alive as much as possible. And these are the Lings trying to go for this round. SiFu, though, gonna have his own Lings into the fray. And in the end, it is still SiFu defending pretty well. Baneling Cocoons, though, can they hatch in time? That's the question. Seems like the answer is no. But Azin is not one to give up. He is still keeping on with the pressure. Worker count, though, in the lead here for SiFu, but the Mutas are here. And game over, man. Game over. Time for the Lings to get the hell out of there and someone figure out how to shoot those birds from the sky. Time, though, ticking. And this is the Overlords right now, gonna get hampered. Good call here from SiFu. If he shuts down these Overlords, this just means that Azin can't build any other units besides those floating balloons. And SiFu right now, even also on the west side, he still does not want to give up his third base. And this is just Azin desperate to try and defend. But now the Mutaflock is here, and it feels like this is just a little too overwhelming already. Azin will have to defend his Overlords with his life. He's setting up the Spore Crawlers to defend his bases. But it's still SiFu with heavy map control, and he's had it from the get-go, from that pool first, and it seems like he's never let up on it. He's been taking advantage of every single bit that has been given to him, really making Azin play on his toes and try to tiptoe his way out of here. But SiFu right now harassing this Zergling line, and oh my god, it's gonna be a pincer attack that doesn't pan out too well, though. Baneling Cocoons are there, free fix here. It's a sacrificial lamp there for the side of Azin, but SiFu gonna be still flying on the round with the Mutas. Queen still off creep already, Concave is there, Link battle gonna be in order, and here we go with a natural battle. Onto the main base we go, onto the natural base we go first. It's the wall right now getting cascaded on. That's gonna be the Banelings trying to go for the pokes, but it's just not gonna be enough. And this is SiFu in position to do more and more damage, as though in the meantime playing it well with the Queens. They're by the cliff, they're trying to just not get surrounded, and Azin will clean it up, but SiFu is still looking to be Big Brother, watching every single move our yellow Zerg does. What a game though this has been so far, and it feels like the thing is though, that you're in a drag race, but your opponent starts in another gear quicker. SiFu started on 2nd gear, is now in like 5th gear. Azin in the meantime started on 1st, is by 4th. And it really goes to show the speed of this game. SiFu right now trying to go for the Queens there. No transfusions to keep them alive. Eventually one does hit the front line. One Muta will go down. But besides all of that, it doesn't really pan out too well here for Azin. He forces the Mutas off, but they will just decide to go for the third base instead. SiFu though in the meantime, with more and more of these links, so Baneling's gonna get the pop on over. Azin though in the meantime blocking his own baits, and SiFu right now running over to the north side. These Queens though are all around the place yet again. Overlords right now trying to get the hell out of there. SiFu needs to keep this scout alive though. There we go, the Banelings right now looking to run into that third base. And he's waiting for the opportunity, gets the pop onto 6. Beautifully done here by SiFu, and he's still in the lead. The pressure is not letting up whatsoever. Even though he's losing these Mutas right now, he's still in a good spot in this fight. Interesting part though is Mutas and reinforcements have it right, Commander, because this is 10 of them flying on around. Lurker Den here though from Azin. Interesting call. He wants to have a little bit of that anti-ground against the Ling Flood, with the, of course, the AoE of the Sisix Mines. But GG's gold. That is that. It's just too much to handle. SiFu has another ball of Mutas. He's doing the same thing, harassing those Overlords, and Azin knows that it's just not gonna happen. It's gonna be a war of attrition that eventually he will lose unless SiFu makes a huge mistake of throwing those Mutas into the Hydra Bowl, which will be a problem for Azin to get in the first place because of the supply block. And then, you know, it's just a effect that keeps happening and happening and happening. So SiFu takes that first map, and we'll be going to game number 2 in just a bit. That was a fun one. And you can really see the change of tempo here between the Masters Plus bracket as well as the Gold to Diamond, right? In a ZVZ, things are a lot more decisive, things are a lot more secure. And in the end, it is SiFu who wins it out from the initial lead. And it really goes to show why we don't see too much Gold to Diamond Zergs, because they haven't been able to really bridge that gap yet. And if they're able to do so, then they kind of don't belong in Gold to Diamond anymore. They do more belong into, well, the higher echelons, into the Masters Plus bracket. So it really goes to show Zerg is a hard beast to tame. But when you get it, and when you get it right, can do so many great things with it. But here we go, guys. We're going to game number 2, and it seems like it's gonna be another aggressive one, because our next map will be also on the small side. It's Deathaura LE. So it's all about speed yet again. We'll see if those quick zones are gonna make it a lot easier for these 2 Zergs to do battle. But this has been a very fun series so far from that first game, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the same kind of matchup yet again. Will Azin or GeoHen be able to get his revenge though? That is gonna be the question. Or will SiFu be able to get that 2-0? We'll find out as we get into the game. It is time now to get into Deathaura LE. And this is Quarantine Tournament Map 5, brought to you by Pure PC, as well as Block 101. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, we are back into the action, and here we are on Deathaura LE. Introducing first the man up on the lead, just schooling his opponent with how to use those links and how to transition into mute as well. It is our green Zerg going for the extractor trick yet again. It is SiFu. Now, you know, before we move on to the other guy, the extractor trick debate. You guys think it's worth it or not? You get a free drone before the Overlord, and you're basically able to mitigate whatever you spend on the extractor and then some. But it is what it is. It really just depends on, do you think it's worth it or not? Because you're gonna get that Overlord anyway, and your eggs do stack up to 3. So yeah, it's a small debate. Maybe, just maybe, SiFu a lot more comfortable with it from Brood War days, or also feeling the net positive of doing it is a lot better. So it's just something to think about. It's a food for thought question. Nothing right, nothing wrong about it. And we've seen some of the best do it. We've seen some of the best not do it. But you know what's best about this game? He still has an opponent here on the southeast side of Deathaura LE. It is our yellow Zerg down by 1. It's the lad looking to find a laydown, looking to find a victory. It's our yellow Zerg, Azin, or GeoHen. So here we go again. So extractor here for Azin. Earlier than SiFu. That's the one thing that the extractor trick kind of messes up in a bit. So since you're looking for more minerals, it's a bit of a waste to go immediately for an extractor. So we will SiFu do the same old thing yet again. Pull first into the hatchery, as in the meantime already responding in kind with his own pull first. But with the earlier gas, he's looking for the meta low quicker into this one. And I feel like Deathaura LE is one of those maps where it's even scarier with metabolic boost on Zerglings early, because you have those speed zones that make these things go even quicker. And they already go very quick, and you can just kite wherever the hell you want in the center of the map. So though both of these Zergling armies can see each other, I do believe though Azin has the advantage here as he got the initial poke. And SiFu right now trying to run the hell away. Oh my god. Okay. So enough about this. Azin is gonna play his special build. 2 base Roach, but with a certain upgrade into this one. It is Burrow Tech. And Azin is the only person that I see do this in the SCPH scene. And since SiFu sees that hatchery beating and already sees the queen online, he might be thinking that something is weird, because there we have the Roach Warren on a 2 base. You usually see a Roach Warren on 2 base in a kind of all-in situation in a normal matchup, or in the ZVC itself, the early Roaches to force out your opponent to do the same. But with Burrow in the mix, might be a game changer. But Roaches will be going online soon here for GeoHen. SiFu in the meantime, gonna have these queens ready to go. Spinecrawler is on the high ground though to play defensively. And Metabolic Boost is gonna be ready to go very, very soon as well. But as in right now, sending in these Roaches. Wants to play that initial aggression. SiFu will see this coming, and at the very least be able to respond in kind. Question is though, how will SiFu actually deal with the Burrow Roaches? Because Roaches with Burrow are able to heal very, very quickly. That's their specialty. It's like the Mutas up in the air, right? If they're not fighting, they get rapid regeneration. It's kind of the same thing here for the Roach if they're down on the ground. They're like a potato. If you put them in the ground, they will grow into an amazing potato tree. There are no potato trees, but just go with it anyway, guys. But as I say, you know, Azin is gonna play something he's very comfortable with. It's something that's built in match multiple times before, and he's trying to do it yet again. Spinecrawler though gonna be here on the east side as well. And there you go, Azin exposing his Burrow. It's time to play whack-a-mole, basically. It's time to see if SiFu can control his actions enough to force Azin to make some big mistakes. Some Burrows there and then, but unfortunately it's not enough for the third one. There we go with the surround. Azin should be burrowing these ones, but no, it doesn't matter. And SiFu just playing with his food by that point. He understands exactly what to do in a matchup like this. He has his Spore Crawler ready to go. And a really good read here for SiFu. As soon as he noticed what was coming, he had a response. He saw that the Roaches were there, he got a good flood of Lings, and the problem with going for the Burrow Roach early is you just don't have that critical mass of Roaches that can let you bully Zerglings like this. So it doesn't really matter. SiFu right now, as we said, Metabolic Boost scary on the map, but I was trying to say it for Azin, but it is gonna go for SiFu instead. Onto the main base we go. Perhaps no, onto the natural we go instead. There are Roaches there in position trying to defend. Queen's gonna be by the ramp as well. Seems like SiFu is trying to go for 2 different targets at one time, and since there's not enough concentration fire, it's still gonna be a good defense here for our boy GeoHen. But for the time being, SiFu able to just hurt everything where it matters. A lot of units gonna be critical here. And eventually, with some of these Zerglings going on down, Asmon will barely survive with that Queen. Some Roaches do go down there, as well as a good number of drones. And SiFu now is on the hunt. He can feel the bloodlust in him. He can feel the thirst. He can smell it in the air. And he is going at it again and again and again. He's gonna go for the push right now. SiFu is gonna bring all of these lings and more. And this is not just a flood. This is a tidal wave waiting to happen. This is when your beach becomes a completely submerged area. Because this is SiFu looking to get closer and closer to round number 2. He's already harassing that Queen versus the burrow. Everything is burrowed here for GeoHen. But it just means that they are not there to do anything whatsoever. Burrow again from the Roach. Asmon right now looking to survive, and he is just keeping everything underground. Sonic underground. SiFu is overground though, and Asmon in the meantime looking to defend with these Roaches. SiFu though is on the north side of the main base of his opponents. And again, opportunities. That's what this is all about. We are gonna see a Roach Warren here though for SiFu. Lair is there so he can bring an Overseer if need be. These Zerglings still trying to run the hell away, looking to poke the natural here and now. And at the very least, he's trying to make Asmon respond. To burrow everything, to say, okay, I'm attacking again. Slow down the minerals intake of his opponents. And for SiFu, he's gonna do it again. It feels like for SiFu that he doesn't care if these lings die. Because if he makes these drones burrow for long enough, job is done. It's the same thing. The economy is stifled there for Asmon. He's already down on the worker count to begin with. He's forced to go for a bigger army with +1 available because of all the pressure here courtesy of SiFu. And behind all of this, what's happening to SiFu? He's happy to build a spine crawler Congo line. He's happy to get his lair. He's happy to get +1. He's happy to get reconstitution, and he's happy to get a third base. So everything is going under the sun here for SiFu. Feels like it's his lucky day. He's won the lottery. And he's just really good to go overall. But you know, it's just, you know, it's just this burrow strategy for Asmon. Kind of blowing up in his face. And now it's a do or die situation. It's up to him to burrow correctly. A while ago on his natural attack, didn't work out as he would like. And in the end, it's time again for SiFu to send another wave. But this time, it's going to be reinforcements. Have a ride. Overseer going to be here with the Roaches. Detection is available. So SiFu will be looking to just anchor on and keep on with the pressure. Question is though, how will Asmon answer back? He still has a good number of Roaches, so he can keep on with that setup. Some +1 research might be helpful. And I guess the answer for him is to go for more and more of these Roaches. Army count though kind of even. Reconstitution though here for SiFu so far. They move over to the other side quicker. And basically, in this match, Asmon is forced to play the defense, forced to play on 2 base. And if this keeps up and SiFu makes no mistakes, it's just gonna be SiFu getting richer and richer yet again, like the last game, and keeping on with the pressure, never letting up from a certain point. And even Ravagers into the mix. Oh, I love this here from SiFu. Ravagers are amazing units. The Biles are so potent. And you know, it feels like the Roaches, they have a shelf life. They don't have enough preservatives. The Ravagers themselves, these things are good all around every single part of the game. Like, sure, overall, it costs you 100 like a Muta because of how the Ravager morph is accounted for. But, the Bile is just such a strong ability. And in terms of its typing, it's not armored, so it really does change things up to begin with. It makes your composition a little less susceptible to anti-armored kind of setups like Immortals and all the like. And here we go though with the Bile. Asmon is surrounded, and it doesn't matter if he goes for the burrow because those Biles will still connect onto the ground. This is gonna be SiFu keeping up his army, getting the shots on. Asmon though in the meantime reinforced by the Queens, forcing SiFu to back on out. And Asmon's on the hunt, but since these Ravagers are still good to go, they can go at it again with another Bile cycle to surprise his opponent. Moving over to the south side, there we go with a quick little poke onto one. I like this here from SiFu so far. He's baiting, he's switching, he's making sure his opponent can't really get much done. Overlord now with 20 HP, you need another Ravager to wrap that one up on a silver platter. And there we go though with a split push here from the side of Asmon. Very dangerous spot, and I don't like this here from Asmon at all. It seems like everything for SiFu is set up in a really good way, and he's cleaning up house off the creep and off the grounds of Asmon. Problem there is Asmon is very eager to go for that push. A while ago, bailed out by the Queens, adding on to the DPS. This time, without those Matriarchs keeping an eye out on the Roaches. well, that is just a spot of trouble there. And here we go again, onto the connector, onto the high ground. SiFu right now bullying his way to victory. And the question is, can he keep things up? Ravager is going to be numbering into, well, the 10s, I believe, here from the side of SiFu. And it's just going to be more and more of this push. It's still looking really strong. The bots are connecting. There are 9 of them, rather, into the field. Overlord's trying to block this distance, block this vision, but it doesn't matter. GG is called. SiFu showing him why he's the sensei. And he is just able to win it out twice in terms of peak aggression. The tides are waxing and waning, but SiFu knows how to bend them like Beckham and bend them like the best of them. Really going to show that the understanding there from SiFu a lot better compared to Azin. And while we saw GeoHen's fun composition that can surprise many, it feels like it's well scouted by many of the community, including SiFu, just understanding and responding in time. As soon as you see the extractor and you see the metabolic boost not online your opponent, you have to know something is funky. It can be Carapace, sure, so you can keep an eye out on the balloons, but then you see that they're still slow. So that has to just be one thing, right? This has to be Burrow. And a really good call there from SiFu, able to position, able to harass his opponent enough to force some burrows to make some mistakes. And from there on, kept the lead and never looked back. There you go, guys. A great series there, but SiFu will take it to 0. He moves on to round number 2 into the upper bracket. GeoHen, in the meantime, going to be falling on over, but still alive in the lower bracket to wait out some of the results here and there. But speaking of results, here we are yet again, guys. It's going to be time for... it's time for our last match next on the list. SiFu with 2. And we will be right back. This is a quarantine tournament number 5, sponsored, of course, by Pure PC and Block 101. You don't want to go away because our last match will be ZVT, and it's going to be a fun one. It's Nux versus Paul, some top finalists here from the quarantine tournament. Number 1, looking to do battle yet again.